Hello, this is Mike Linner from CarShowNationals.com. Let's roll with my co-host Jeff Thisted.
Hey guys.
Hot Rod Power Tour, which I hear Summit Racing is looking or closed down now. But we're gonna talk with Terry Wilson, Coverman66. A lot of people know him, and it's amazing how many people know him because when I was at SEMA, can you remember what country that guy was from, Terry? That guy came up to you and he's like, I've been watching your videos, and that's the reason why I built my car.
That 55, I think his name was David.
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, Australia. All the way from Australia watching Terry's videos.
And you even remember the guy's name. That's impressive.
Yes, yes.
I have a name. I have a good, names like, come to me, it's like cars. And but sometimes I'm not going to lie, I get forgetful. But
unless you look like this girl I know, Rachel, I forget your name. Now, I forget your name, but you drive a 1970 Chevelle LS 454 with 411 gears and a Tremec T56, but I forget your name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Terry's been known to have a Chevelle, I guess. Does have one. I've had one in the past.
Coverman66. I've never had a Chevelle, but the 66 and the 70s are my two favorites.
67, 71, and 69 are my favorites. I'm missing just the one. I'm missing the 69. But I will get it.
So why are you Coverman66? I thought it was a 66 Chevelle.
No. Coverman, I'll tell you the whole story.
Please, yeah.
I used to be a music producer back in the day. I used to be a hip hop artist. I used to do DJs, engineer, music, and everything. And I was in a rap group, and I was a DJ. And my name was Undercover, DJ Undercover. I played at the Palladium. I played all over the big clubs in New York City, Kilimanjaros back in the day. And I started making hip hop grooves for well-known artists. And I was thinking, you know what, I got to get a doing business name. And so I went to the town clerk to get, Undercover Productions. It was taken. So they gave me a bunch of names. Yeah, they gave me a bunch of names that, was close to Undercover. Coverman popped up. And I was like Coverman, that's cool. Coverman Productions. Nice flow, nice ring. So I got Coverman Productions. Then what happened was I was trying to get an email address. And that was back when AOL was popular. And there's a while back. I
still have AOL. Don't make fun.
No, I still got my AOL account.
We're the only two.
Brothers. So I went on, tried to get an email address, Coverman Productions. Again, that was taken. So AOL, when you try to make a name, an email address, they will give you a bunch of names. And they gave me a bunch of names, Coverman 1, Coverman 4, 3, 6 of it, whatever. So, and then I seen Coverman 66. And I'm like, wow, okay, that has a nice ring to it. And the two sixes are the lowest denominator in my birthday and year. So I'm like, okay, and that's my perfect number. So there you have it.
Was your birthday 56? 1956, no. 1946, 76?
I'm not telling, but I will tell you, it has 12 12s in it. 12th year, 12th day, 12th month.
Oh, very cool.
Coverman
66, so that's the story.
That's where it came from. And that's where the name came from.
All right, so why did you get out of music production and DJing, and how did you get into LS swapping blazers and stuff? What was the transfer or the segue?
Well, I've always stuck with music. I always love music, and I always will play music. But as I got a little older, and the hip hop field kind of changed a little, and I wasn't feeling the music anymore. And I always heard if I'm not feeling the music as far as that particular style, I don't need to be in it. And so I made some money, and I put it back towards my education. And so that's why I got out of it, because, it's kind of hard to make now with everyone having studios in their house now. To be an engineer is kind of hard. And so I opened up a studio in my house, and I still did music and all that. But, my love, I graduated from what's called Ramble College with a communication degree as far as videotape editing. I was supposed to be a weatherman. And so I wanted to use that again.
Weatherman 66.
Coverman66. So that's where it all came. It all came in, and then the videos came in, because that happened by accident. Actually, the videos. Yeah.
Wow, what happened? You go from music to cars. So you get out of the hip hop. It's not really your thing. And then, did you have an LSA? Did you have a CTSV? Did you have a Camaro?
No, because I've always been into cars. Always,
Okay.
since I was little. My uncle. It started when I was like cars. I mean, I always loved them, but it all started when I used to go to, like when you're out from school and during the summer break. My parents used to ship me and my sister to South Carolina. And as long as I can remember, I mean, I can remember maybe 6, 7 years old. And I had an uncle. He passed as well, Junior, miss you very much. And he was a big car fan. His car was the A-body, but, like down south on the dirt roads, you can have like 20 cars in your yard. And he did. So, and he would work on them and everything. And like I said, as I got older, the ripe old age of like maybe 9 or 10, I was driving these cars on the dirt roads of South Carolina. Like it started when he was just like, go get us some lunch. And I'm like, I'm not riding my bike down the hot sun in South Carolina. He goes, take one of the cars, any car you want. They all got the keys in them.
At 9 or 10 years old.
About 9, 10.
Oh, that's so cool. And this is Uncle Junior? Uncle
Junior, man. Manny Harrison, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yep. I love it.
So he said, you know how to drive? I was like, and I happen to know how to drive, because when you're dealing with like go-karts all your life and like I didn't take a clutch car at that time because I know how to drive a clutch. And I think I took the first clutch when I was like maybe 11. But, you know how to drive. Riding bicycles, it's all the same thing. So he saw that I was able to drive and he goes, all right, go get us some lunch. First car I took down was, if I remember correctly, it was the Buick Skylark GS 455.
Oh, big block even.
1970, Buick Skylark GS 454, red with a white gut and white vinyl roof.
That's awesome.
4-speed.
So basically, Uncle June is your liaison, is the one who got you into cars. Is that accurate?
I always loved cars. Always had Hot Wheels. Always loved them. He was the one that was like, okay, Terry, this is a manifold. Okay, this is what this does. This is carburetors. This is what this does. It goes down and brings the gas into the manifold, and the manifold's got to be hot, because if it's not hot, it's not going to atomize the fuel, and it's not going to go into the chambers right. So you got to make sure. That's why you got to let it sit. This is a stove. This is what the heads do. See how the heads of the valve work? That's Uncle Junior. Yes.
I love it. That's so cool.
That's Uncle Junior. Yes.
What's that? I have 2 nieces and a nephew. And the nephew, I used to think you were born as a blank sheet of paper, and then what you came across in life, and it's not like that at all. Because I have he sees my phone, Uncle Jeff, what's on your phone? And on Instagram, there's a girl, nothing. All of a sudden, there's a motorcycle. Oh, like you've never seen a motorcycle before. It just does something to him. So it's like it's in there somewhere, and I'm kind of the proud uncle that gets to bring out the hot rod or the car look for my nephew.
You're his Uncle Junior.
Yes. So I love that your Uncle June got you into cars.
Yeah, and it's funny because old man McGuire always says it in his shows. You're born with a car gene, and he's so right about that. You got a car gene in your system, and it comes out later on in life. At some point in your life, if you're blessed to get it out early or have someone to bring it out early, that's great. But you definitely have a car gene, for these gearheads. You got to have a car gene.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Then you got into doing videos, and how did that come about?
Well, girlfriend at the time, wife now. I always did LS installs as far as when they first came out, because I was a tune port guy first. So my first tune port swap was probably in 90. Around there. That was because you didn't have too many companies with the tune ports and all that. And I met this guy named Mark Campbell from Street and Performance. And he helped me put a tune port in my high school car, which was a 79 Z28, 80 Z28. And I fell in love with the power, because I went from a ZZ4, which I put a ZZ4 in that engine, in that car. Now this is back like in 89, 90, 91, somewhere around there. And loved the power. And I was just always envious of that tune port, because to me, the tune port looks like a spider sitting on top of that engine. And I drove plenty of those IROCs, And I was just like off the line. These cars are just animals. So, like I was thumbing through Hot Rod Magazine or something like that. I forget which magazine it was. And I saw Mark Campbell, Street and Performance, TunePort, whatever. So I called him up and he goes, oh yeah, we convert TunePorts to, like where you can put it on your regular car. I fell in love with that idea. So I sent my TunePort, which I got for like $200 from one of my buddies, and he bench flowed the injectors, made sure everything's running right, send it back to me. I nestled it on the car. He gave me a computer, set it up. Car was an animal. As a matter of fact, my Uncle Junior helped me install it.
Nice.
We have pictures of that. Yeah, he helped me install it. And so ever since then, I was a fuel injected guy. And I skipped over the LT, the first generation, like a second generation of LT. I skipped over that because that looked too much like a 350. That looked too much like, I'm like, well, and they got the obby spark problem. So I skipped over that. So fast forward.
You didn't like the looks
of the LT?
Yeah.
Well, it looked too much like the TunePort was a better looking engine, and from stoplight to stoplight, I think the TunePort, it has its limits to like after 5,000 it's a dog RPM. But the TunePort to me, to go from a TunePort to a LT is almost like a lateral move.
Okay.
It's almost like that's the way I saw it. It's almost like a lateral move. And then the LS came out, and I always saw the LS, but then it was one time when a friend gave me a call who worked. He was a dealership. He was a owner, not donor. He was a salesperson at a Chevrolet dealership right around the corner. And he says, Terry, you got to come down here. You got to see this Camaro. It was the 98 Camaro. And he had two of them. He had an SS and a regular Z28. And he goes, this is the LS engine, Terry. You got to come on down. We'll give you the keys to anyone you want. So I went down, and of course I took the red SS because I had a stick. And he says, just don't open the engine up until you get back. Don't open the hood. I was like, I can promise you that. I was like, how impressive could it be? I got a souped up TunePort, Man, that was a game changer. I came back, and I was just lighting the car up. I was just having a good time with this car. Didn't want to bring it back. Now I fell in love with the engine, not so much the car. The 98 Camaro, it's a nice looking car, but it's not the Camaro.
I don't even know about nice looking. It's kind of stuck in time. It is what it is, but performance-wise, yeah.
Performance-wise, back then it was a bad car, and it still is. But like matter of fact, if I build a drag car, which I'm thinking about doing, just strictly drag, it's going to be something like that, 98, something that I can get for cheap. But it's not going to be a SS. It's going to be like a regular plain Jane. But because I'm just comfortable in Camaro, I had so many of them. And so I got the car back. We flipped open the hood. He said, Terry, this is the LS engine. This is this, that, 345 horsepower, such, all this. And I was just like, right then and there, I said, there's got to be a way we can put that engine into some old school car. And he'll tell you that story if ever you meet him. He says, he said it right then and there. As soon as he flipped the hood up and looked at it, he said, like I gazed at that engine for about 5 minutes, and I was just like, gotta be a way we can take this engine and put into like a Camaro, an old school Camaro, or some old school car. Later on, fast forward to about 2005,
right.
I got myself a 69 Camaro, and there was no compromise. An LS engine's going in this thing. And so I was fixing up the body and everything like that. And one of my buddies at Contemporary Corvettes in Pennsylvania, he says, I called him up. He goes, Terry, we have a couple of LS engines in here. Maybe you might want to check them out. He had an LS2 straight out of a wrecked GTO with less than 15,000 miles on it with a 6-speed. And he also had an LS6, just the engine. Now with my 80Z28, which I still had, I was thinking about doing an LS swap as well. So I was going to buy both of those engines and the transmission. But at the last minute, it was on eBay, and he was getting ready to take it off eBay, but someone had met the price, so he had to sell it, just for that. So I got the LS2 with the 6-speed, and I put it in my 69 Camaro. And again, Mark Campbell, he now went from TunePort swaps to LS. Matter of fact, he's in the Hot Rod Hall of Fame as the godfather of LS swaps or whatever. And the man was good. I miss him. He took me under his wing. He showed me everything I needed to know about hooking up these LS swaps, LS everything, computers, everything. And that part is that he says, Terry, come on down. He was in Mena, Arkansas. He says, come on down and I'll teach you everything, turbo, supercharged. Now, this is back before LS was big. This is like 2000, maybe 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. Maybe 2011, somewhere around there. And he says, come on down, spend a weekend with me. You will know everything you need to know about LS swaps, cams, heads, everything, turbos, superchargers. By the time I got my ducks in a row, I called him up and I found out that he had passed a week prior.
Oh,
and,
no.
Yeah. Found out that he had passed, like maybe a week prior. And then I felt that, being that I had the knowledge, that's cool. Like I feel bad. I'm upset, and I miss him. He was a good guy. He was one of those guys that you can call on a Saturday or Sunday and he would pick the phone up. And somehow, I don't know what it was, he took a liking to me and he wanted to teach me his whole business. And like I said, by the time I got my ducks in a row, I was going down there. I was like, I'll be down in a couple of weeks. And I was going to tell him that and found out that he passed. Yeah.
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah. People come into your life for certain reasons. And, he came into mine and I am thankful that he did because he raised my level up tenfold as far as with the automobile. And so
I think that's what we do with each other because
no, totally.
Since SEMA, we've all been going up. I feel.
Yep, totally.
And you now, since you started, then you started your video deal.
And that was by accident too. That was by accident. It was supposed to be I was doing this. That was when I was doing the 71 Chevelle at that time. And, at this point, I had, I don't know how many LS swaps under my belts for friends and stuff like that. And I was doing my 71. And I figured, I got friends that, I used to wrench with in college and high school and everything. And I would send them, clips of what I'm doing, And like I said, my girlfriend, at the time, wife now, she says, hey, won't you just make a YouTube channel and give them the URL so they can log in. You can see it. They can see what you've been doing. So that's what I did. So I had about maybe 15 friends, looking at this build and everything like that. And, me putting the computer together and everything like that. Videos I have yet to put out. I got tons of videos that I have not put out. And so the starting party, the one where I'm actually starting the car up, the fenders off the car, all you see is the engine, you got wires all over the place, but I'm starting it. Now that if you look at that video, I got the neighbors across the street. There's maybe 50, 60 people out there, because there was a barbecue across the street. And my friend told me, whenever you start that car up, come get me. I want to be there when you start the car up. So he happened to have a party going. And I went over there and I was like, listen, I'm starting the car up now. And he was like, hold on a sec. Next thing I know, I see a bunch of people coming over there, with ribs and they got beer, And I called my buddies over. So I had about 50, 60 people sitting out there. And I even said a little prayer and everything and started the car up. Now, I filmed that and I put it online for my buddies to see. But the problem was, which wasn't a problem, which was a blessing, I didn't make it, private. See, the other videos were private where they could see because they have it. So they would get notification. I didn't hit that. I was just so excited. Just pushed the button and it went public. Coverman66 was born.
Really? So how many? There you go, Coverman66. So how many views did you get?
Off of that one, to date?
No, just that that first weekend. Did it?
The first weekend must have been about. Now this is you figure it's maybe 2009, 2010. I think 10,000.
Wow.
10,000, somewhere around there. When it first hit, it was huge, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then I started getting a bunch of questions, and I was just like, well, maybe this is what I'm meant to do. Maybe I'm just meant to, help people get stuff going with their cars. Because after, like I said, once it started going, I was just like, wow, next thing I know, I'm sitting up there answering questions. How'd you do that? Well, I tied it into this and this, that. How'd you get the brake to work? Oh, you got to do this Tracy switch. And you got to, so, people wanted to know because, like I said, this was new at the time. And you didn't have too many people doing the LS swap. And so they wanted questions answered. So I was like, okay, let me answer some of these questions. And again, Coverman was born.
Yeah. And you've done what? over a couple hundred at least. How many
I
videos have you
I had
made?
I had my hand in, yes, I mean, I can't even count. I can't even count.
Right.
189 videos.
189 videos. And
Does
for
it
the
right
eight,
there.
Probably, but he says he hasn't even shared all of them, so he's probably even got more than that.
Well,
I
he does
probably
have
got-
more than that. Obviously,
Yeah,
he
I
hasn't
got-
shared them all, but that's how many he's got posted.
yeah,
Money,
yeah. Once I hit 200, I'm giving away an engine, and I'm also raffling off an engine.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
What, 200,000 view or 200 videos or 200,000
Well,
subscribers?
What I'm trying to do is I'm almost on my 8th year anniversary on YouTube. So on my 8th year anniversary, I'm trying to set it up where I can just give an engine away to subscribers, to anyone who's a subscriber, because I'm going to go in my subscriber bin, everything like that, and just pull a name out. Guess what? You just won yourself an LS engine. And at that point,
Now, do you have a sponsor for this, GM Performance, or is it just one of the engines you've built out of your personal stash?
one of my engines out of my stash, I'm going to just go in there and just be like, and it's not going to be just a regular engine. I'm going to get it. It's going to be cammed out. It's going to be at least 500 horsepower. It's going to be clean. Be cammed
LSA
out.
or LS3?
No, it's going to be a LS. It's going to be a regular LS.
Regular 5.3, 6.0, 6.2?
It's probably going to be a 6.0.
6.0, okay. Here we go.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. I like that. That's my favorite engine. So, yeah, I'm just going to go on my personal stash, get one, and just be like, okay, this is the engine. And I'm not going to I won't tell them. I'm just going to be like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a cam in there. We're going to put a high volume water pump. What's it called? We're going to do this. Oil pump. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We do this. And at the end, I'm going to be like, now we're going to go and we're going to just give this engine away. Subscribe. Yeah.
Very cool.
Give it away. And then what I want to do is, like I said, get to the point where I can raffle off like, $20 entry or something like that, buy a Coverman shirt or something like that puts you in the running. Like if you're a subscriber, that's the first people we're going to. And, start raffling off an engine.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a little baby when it comes to YouTube because I had never really used YouTube. Because I'm always spending my time on my website. So after SEMA last year, I'm like, I'm going to start my YouTube and start really trying to do something on there. I think I got my SEMA video I did. Right now I got 450,000 views.
Yeah, you killed it, man. I was like, look at you.
And it's funny because a lot of people are ripping me for the quality of the video, but they didn't know as I was missing some of the parts that Best Buy told me that I didn't need to buy, and then I needed it. So I was trying to do everything.
It doesn't matter what you do, Mike. Haters are always going to hate.
I know. That's pretty funny. I just kind of laugh.
It's like I told.
I was dealing with.
It's like I told Mark Green on Cars. Yeah, I said to him, like, it doesn't matter what you do. You could have a video of a kitten, and right, just the cutest little thing, and you give it to its mother, the cat, and they walk off to the sunset. You wouldn't think anyone could say
How
something
come
negative.
you put up a video of a kitten and not a dog? Do you hate dogs? Why is it not a dog?
You gotta get a thick skin. I had a person ask me, how do you get a lot of negative I said, oh God, yeah. So you could delete them, turn off the camera, whatever you gotta do. But you don't let them break your stride because one, they're either jealous. Two, they just don't have any time on their hands, so they want to just troll. And three, some of them just, like they're idiots. It's like I always said, every voice should be heard, but some voices don't need to be heard.
It's true, but you got to let the haters hate. They've always got comments. Comments are good. And I remember, did you watch that? Cletus McFarland. He's got that new Freedom Factory, the track in Florida. The first video he did of that, he said, I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank my sponsors. And I especially want to thank the haters. Because no matter what I do, people are going to hate something. And the haters, let it all go. So thank you especially to the haters. And it just shocked me. So it's like, good for you, man. You got to embrace the haters.
No, and it's funny because like I always give people one. If someone comes up to me and says, Terry, I don't like whatever such blah, you suck, I'll be like, okay, you get one. What did I say that whatever such and such? Tell me. Let me know. And if it becomes to the point where I will say 8 out of 10 times we agree to disagree, or either, I didn't realize that oh, so that's what you meant, whatever, such and such. Cool. We leave as friends. But it's those 2 times where you just can't reach them. And I'm just like, oh, step back, whatever, such and such. And it's funny because I was at SEMA. When I was at SEMA, there was a guy, I met a hater. I met one of my haters. His buddy loves my videos, right? So these 2 guys come up to me. You see one just like pretty much apprehensive, and you see hey, Terry, how you doing? Yo, man, I love your videos, such and such. You know what I got here? I got one of your haters here. This guy says such and such, blase, blase, blase. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I guess, not that I'm a big guy, not that I'm a tough guy. I'm really not. I'm a sweet guy. And I guess he was shocked of, like, I guess maybe my size don't come through on camera.
No, what did you, 6'6"?
I'm about 6'3".
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about 6'3", and I'm not a thin guy. So
Mom says I'm big boned.
Big bone. So, like, he was just like, well, I had a problem with what such, and his friend was just egging it on. No, where's that energy that you had when you were talking a couple of weeks ago when you just like, yo, he's a blabbermouth, you don't know what he's talking about. Where's that energy? How come, tell him. He's here, tell him. I'm like, well, man, state your case, man. What you got? Well, no, I'm just saying, such and such. I said, listen, man, it's all good. Like, I can't, I don't, well, you just said such and such, like that, like you saying that, what's it called, LS guru and all that. And I was like, okay, let me stop you there. You can look at 100, you can look at all my videos. Never once will you find a curse, or you will ever find me saying that I know it all and I'm the guru, I'm the man, I'm the best. You never, ever hear that. And so if you heard that somewhere, it wasn't from my video, man. Well, I'm just saying, I understand, but, but what is your real problem? No, man, I don't have a problem with you. So we end it like that. And his buddy's like, by the way, his name is this on YouTube, so check him out, So
did you get a selfie with the liker and the hater? And
no, well, I got a selfie with the liker, like the hater. I'm not gonna force him or anything like that. I think I've made my point. So good. I asked him, you want to get in this picture? He's like, oh, I'm all right, man. I was like, all right, cool. See you later. The guy was like, so it's all good. Like, it's nice to meet a hater, but if he's gonna be a hater, he's gonna be a hater. So what can you do?
Yeah. Man, you got a lot of people that love you. I mean, there's so many people that watch you. And actually, I was at the car cruise last weekend in Minnesota, and someone came up to me. He's like, hey, Coverman66? I'm like, yeah. I mean, in Minnesota. So, I mean,
yeah.
And then when I was with Terry, that guy comes up and literally wants to give Terry a hug because he learned so much from Terry. And it was a pretty cool moment that I was actually standing there when it happened. So.
And something, Jeff, I don't know if you noticed, but in that video that I did at SEMA, Mike was most of the photographer for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And something to get close to Mike. He's got his entourage around him, all the security.
Yeah, Mike is, that's what I'm saying. Like, I started thinking, wow, this guy, who he is, he's filming me. I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, yeah. I like to cover everyone too, and I think people appreciate it. When I walked around with Ed Golden for the first year, I mean, he had an entourage of people with him, and it was pretty funny because we had several media people walking with us, and everyone's like, right. What's going on? Because we had Dave Turin with us too. So we had the marketing manager from Lincoln, and then the marketing manager from another company just walking around with us, so it's pretty funny.
That's beautiful. And then Mike was also there with when the guy told me that was an ugly, MFer. You remember that when I was looking at the video?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't attack him. That was cool. And also, you were there when that cougar was trying to hit on Coverman. At the dinner, when we went to dinner.
Oh man, it's pretty funny. It's more of a blackmail thing where I could just get Terry if I wanted to, anytime, any day. But this lady's just totally hitting on Terry. It's pretty funny. She's rubbing his head, Now
really?
So she can't do that now.
I was just like, help me, help.
I'll tell you what, I haven't laughed that hard. I was practically almost crying. I mean, I was laughing so hard. It was just really.
But I will say this: she was the best looking out of the group.
That's
We
good.
were at it was the Pepper Mill. Yeah.
Peppercorn,
Oh.
yeah.
I love the
check it
pepper
out.
mill.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're going there, Jeff. We're
Did you
going
go down
there
to
this year.
the bar where they've got the flame, the glass rocks with the fire? Love that.
yeah, we saw that. Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
It was
Yeah, so
really busy.
Oh,
It was
so yeah.
busy when we were there.
One of my favorite places for breakfast. Get the biscuits and gravy. Oh man.
but I don't know what's going to be this year. I mean, it's going to be kind of tough because, like, you figure. I mean, if we go to SEMA, I don't
What
know
do
what
you mean if we go to SEMA? SEMA's on.
Okay, my
It's
bad.
on.
What's going to be the, like, I mean, if you got to have social distance, you know how at the Peppercorn, you're real close up. It's up close and personal. So,
At SEMA, you're close up. We're right next. You can't get through. You need a jungle hat and a machete to get through at SEMA.
yeah.
I
But I
can't
tell you
wait.
what,
I'm looking forward to it. It's like
I
you got all these people online who are like, is SEMA still going to happen? Is the hot rod power tour going to? Yes, they're going to happen until they're not. I mean, and stop asking questions. Stop with all the negativity. Think positive. They're going to happen. My thought.
I've learned something. There you go, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for straightening me out.
Well, it's like I'm on the power tour, and every day someone posts, "Is the power tour going to happen?" Wasn't this question asked 365,000 times in the past 2 days? Shut up about it. If it's going to happen, it will. Just let it go. I mean,
I'm there preaching. You go ahead.
oh, if loving the Lord is wrong, I don't want to be right.
I saw that post you made, Jeff, though, that Summit decided to close, and I thought
Yeah.
they were the ones that were trying to defy everything and open, weren't they?
Yeah, at the beginning, like a month ago, they were going to open into 5, but now apparently they're closed for the season. I just saw yesterday that I know Harrison is. They're looking at other venues to start it off with. So there's a lot of other drag strips or venues around that area.
Speaking of which, Jeff, are you going to take that wagon down the strip?
Oh, well, that's so. Yeah, the short answer is yes. Long answer, I have planned. It's like I'm going to go out to Colorado, visit my pop, and then depending on what happens, I was going to drive to Columbus for the Good Guys show. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I haven't heard yet. But then it's like I'm going to drive from Colorado out to Norwalk for the power tour, drive the entire power tour, and then
Norwalk,
the what?
Norwalk where?
No,
Ohio?
Norwalk, Ohio. Yeah, that's where the power tour was going to start.
Because if it was Norwalk, Connecticut, I'm bringing the Chevelle up.
No, yeah, Norwalk, Ohio. So if it's not supposed to start there, but wherever it starts in Ohio, I'm planning on driving it from Colorado out to where it starts, and then it's supposed to end in Chicago Speedway and Joliet. How do you say that?
Joliet.
Thank you, that place. And from there, it's like 40 miles into Chicago. So Mike Cotton, Cotton has got his van, and Cotton and Newbert are going to be in the van. I'll be in the 55. We're starting at Adams and Michigan Street in Chicago, the beginning of Route 66, and taking Route 66 all the way to St. Louis with Cotton, and then I'm taking it all the way to Santa Monica.
Well, I heard Cotton was supposed to move to South Carolina, Georgia, was it?
No, he's still in St. Louis.
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, I got 2 things to say to you, Jeff, and I mean this. First of all, your father, he's awesome, and I love the Canes.
Thank you.
And two, Jeff, you are what this car community needs, because you drive your car all over the world, all over the country. And, it's a 55 with a sedan wagon.
210 station wagon.
210 station wagon with an
Not
LS.
a Nomad.
It's not Nomad.
Hashtag not a Nomad, but yeah, it's a 55. It used to be an LQ4, but now it's a 408 Ford Spot End.
Okay. And you're a good example of what a true hot rodder is, because you build these cars, and some people are just so afraid to drive their car to drive them locally, especially with these installs and everything like that. But you, my friend, you will drive your car, you will get in your car, and I can imagine you coming out your house with your suitcase and your car, throw it in the back, put your music on, your little Hendrix, and you take off. And that's what it is. So you got that freedom, which a lot of people should have, but they don't, because they're a little hesitant. They don't have confidence in their build. And so I want to thank you for showing people, hey, listen, get out and drive your car. This is what they're here for,
That's it. And I'm not sure if it was QA1 or who started the hashtag, but it's hashtag go drive it. And
Go drive
it looks like God Rivet, but it's Go Drive It. And I thank you for saying that, because that's what I built. Any hot rod that I got, I want to drive it. It makes me sad when they sit and die. They need to live and breathe and smell and eat and all sorts of things. And I love bonding with the car.
It breaks my heart when I have to let my car sit over the winter because here we got snow. I can't drive in the snow.
So you're in Connecticut? You're in Connecticut?
No, I'm in New York.
New York, I'm sorry. So at the we don't have seasons out here in California. It's 72 and sunny all year long. So when I would go to the Detroit Auto Show, they would hate me because Southern California's the car capital of the world. Oh, Detroit's the Motor City. All right, where's your hot rod? Whoa,
it's in the garage.
Yeah, because it's snowing out and you don't take your hot rod out. Southern California is the car capital of the world because we can drive our open fenders, roadsters 360 days. We may not be the Motor City, but it's the car capital of the world. So that's why they hate me, but I love driving it.
I can't argue with that. And like I said, I look at where you're going and all the pictures that you're seeing America the way America should be seen in an old school classic car. And I thank you for that, man. I really do.
Well, thank you for noticing. It's like I'm super stoked for it because Cotton's getting ready with his Econoline van. He's going to LS that, and it's not going to be necessarily a dragster, but he's putting solar panels on the top. He's building a camper in the back. We're going to take Route 66 and live the dream, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to do that at some point. We're getting a bunch of guys. We're just going to go Route 66 California, like maybe 12 of us, 13 of us, whatever. And at that point, I don't know if it's going to be this year. I probably won't be this year. Probably next year, a year after. And we're just going to be posting where we are. If you want to join, come on. Let's do it.
Awesome. Let me know before you go. And I've got my stops planned out. I've got all the historical stops, and I've got all the weird local signs from the 50s or 60s that are still up that haven't been torn down. All the little So I got a whole bunch of cool places to stop.
I'm going to see that definitely.
Yeah,
that's cool. So, well, where do you go from here? I mean, we SEMA. Terry had the video with all the celebrities. I haven't done that yet.
And that's the reason why I put this in there, because like that whole Go Drive It, I was like, that's my end right there. And that's why I was like, Jeff, take us out. That's the reason. I had that in mind. I was like, this is going to be the ending.
Well, we're all hanging at we're hanging at Boss Hog with Nelson, and all of a sudden, I remember, what was it? Not Terry, the guy with the bandana, the Count walks by, and all of a sudden the Count says, "Oh, look, it's Coverman66," and Terry's gone. Off with that entourage. He's a bigger name. He's out of here. He knows everyone.
Oh my God!
I think that the video was hilarious with Chip Foose, though. That's one I like, where Chip is just calling you out, and it's just pretty cool.
Well, like I said, that started in 2018 when people ask me this story all the time. I was in that truck with the Belgian brothers. Did you see that truck? That 55. I think it was a 55 fire engine. The Belgian brothers, they shipped that car from Belgium to Maryland. I think it was Maryland, and then drove it all the way to SEMA. And I was on my way to my hotel room because you know about Ignite. All the cars are lined up out of the Coliseum. I was on my way to my hotel room because I'm not one anymore, anyways. The party and all that. I was on my way to a hotel room to start editing, and I come out, and Wesley, the big guy from the Belgian brothers, he had this big, ugly, beautifully ugly fire engine. So for some reason, he points me out. You need to buy this truck. And I was just like, well, if I buy the truck, I need to drive it before I buy it. He goes, and he started getting out of the truck and let me drive this, this big Cummins diesel, 55, fire engine. Now there was, it's slow moving. So I said, no, you get back in the truck. And I said, I tell you what, I'll take a ride. Let me get in a ride. He goes, get in. Now this is with Cobblestone Customs, and this is the Radical Rod crew, the Radical crew. You had Leah. She's up on top with a couple of people, and we're just having a good time on the roof. So I get in, and we're just driving. We're just chopping it up. We're just having a good time, like how we were in the 55 Bel Air, Joe Mealy's car.
Yeah, oh, man.
Having a good time. Next thing we know, we drive past, right? And I'm yelling out the window, hey, you got to buy this truck. And people asking, how much? I told them the number and everything. and we were just having a good time. Next thing I know, I don't know if you ever heard the guy called Watch JR Go. He's like a blogger. He's sitting right there, and he gets in the truck. So we're having a good time, and we're all vibing and everything. There's must be 6 or 7 of us in there. And then next thing I know, all I hear is Wesley say, "Come ride with me." Right? And I'm like, what's Wesley talking about? Come ride with me. Chip Foose jumps on the truck. He had a white C10 and the water pump blew, and his boys were pushing it. So that white C10 was right before us, right in front of us. So Chip Foose, he jumps on the truck, and he starts talking to us. And he says, "Oh, where you guys from?" He says, "We're from Belgium." And then he looks at me. He's like with a little smirk, "You too?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm from Belgium. I'm in the truck." And then so he goes, "You look familiar. Where do I know you from?" And I was like, "I have a YouTube channel." He goes, "That's it. I've seen some of your videos. Very nice." And I was just like, "Thank you." And so he goes, "Well, I got to go, but what's it called? Nice meeting you guys." He takes off. And I'm still like, Chip Foose just told me. And now before he left, I was like, "Chip, dude, you got to give me one right before you leave." And he goes, "Coverman66, you're the man." That's where that came from, right? That's 2018. So here comes 2019, and he remembers me, and we're talking it up in the Magna Flow. And what's it called? We're just having a good old time. And that's when I was like, let me just videotape this. And then it's a lot longer than what I did. I just took that small little part. And that's where he was just like, Coverman66 is still the man. And that whole, sometimes you meet nice people, bad things happen and you meet nice people. I was just like, wow, thank you, Chip. And so that caught me by surprise. And that's how that happened.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's funny because, I think Chip, he's kind of pays attention to, the scene, stuff like that. Otherwise, he wouldn't know what he does. Yeah.
I was very impressed because I'm like, here this guy is, and automotive royalty, and he's
knows you, right?
Yeah. So I was very excited.
He's like the Pope of car builders, right?
Yeah.
You got the Pope of welding and a Pope of car builders. Yeah. My favorite part of those is watching him draw. I love to watch a blank piece of paper, the pencil, the markers, the white paint. It's super cool.
Yeah, he's very talented guy. Very talented guy.
He just posted a video and I shared it today.
Yeah, the Pacer.
Yeah,
yep, on Facebook, the
Pacer. How to redesign the Pacer to make it look cool. And I'm like, man, that would be kind of cool the way he did it.
I think he got
into like a panel. Yeah, he took a window, the back window out, back side window, and made it a panel, like a panel Pacer.
Is that gonna be your new hot rod, Mike? Hot rod Pacer?
Hot rod Pacer?
What's so funny about it is there's a guy here in the Twin Cities who bought this blue-looking one, and it's kind of a little rough, but he commented on the post. He's like, "Wow, that's cool," So maybe he'll make his into a panel one. But you don't see too many of them around at all. I mean, do you see any?
Last one I saw was in a Wayne's World movie. Isn't that Garth's car?
Yeah.
Last time I saw one. Blue.
Last time I saw one was a custom one. And it flew past me on the New York State Thruway, cherry color, and I was just like, if I tell people that story, they're gonna be like, "So the Pacer just flew past you, huh?" And it did. I was driving at that time. When was it? It had to have been like maybe '94. About 94, 95. And I was, at that point, I had a Super Coupe, a Thunderbird Super Coupe, tweaked out. And,
really?
I love that Thunderbird Super Coupe.
I lived in Ingersoll dorm when I was a freshman at Colorado State University. And this Jeff, I forget his last name, but he had a Thunderbird Super Coupe.
Mine was
91. The Super Coupe. I remember it was white. And he let me drive the thing. I was at the liquor store to somewhere in the rain. And I remember that turbo hooking up and that was good fun.
That Super Coupe I would like to get another Super Coupe at some point, but I have the car that is pretty much the next Super Coupe, which was the Lincoln Mark 8. I still have my Lincoln Mark 8. And eventually that's going to be a 6-speed with an LS in it, and it's going to be my drift car. But I do miss that.
What's your daily right now?
I have the Trailblazer SS
Okay.
that I have the supercharged that on that, and my ZL1.
What year?
The ZL1,
Yeah.
2015, the last year of that body style of
Nice.
that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Obviously with the LSA. I'm sorry. I didn't even need to ask. Sorry. It's
No.
got the LSA, not the LT1. Yeah. Gen 5 Camaro.
Well, this
No, yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about the Gen 6. I mean, 6 is nice, but
Why why not?
because if you look at the profile of that car, it almost looks Ford Torino-ish.
Really?
If you look at the way I see it, I'm like, it kind of has a Torino line to it with the back window and the side window. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was a Ford guy, and I'm a car guy, but a Torino is my Ford car. If I was to have a Ford car, it would be a Torino. It'd be a Torino or either 69, 70 Mustang. That's it. But if I was a Ford guy, there would be a Torino. I'd have a house full of Torinos. But it took away from what they were doing. They were trying to make the Camaro look like a 68 Camaro. And once they did that enhancement, if you want to call it that, it took away the whole body line and everything like that. And that's the reason why I like that fifth gen, because it kind of went back to the retro. And so that's why I like it. That's why I like it. And when I first thought out,
because unless I see them side by side,
right,
I really don't see that much difference until they're side by side.
Well, they're side by side.
And I know the Gen 6s are have a whole nother performance capability than the Gen 5s, which
Gen 6 has Gen 5 was the last year they put the LS in there, 6.2.
Yep.
With the superchargers, if you get the LSA. But the Gen 5 is when they introduced that LT engine. So that's the new platform. And at some point I think it will overtake the LS, but there are so many LS engines out there.
Oh.
And I don't think, to me, when it comes, one's direct injection, the LT, but when it comes to both those engines, 500 horsepower is 500 horsepower. It's just if you want to lift up the hood and be like, oh, listen, I got the newest LT engine, which is all well and cool, but it's more of a pain to set that up in an old school car than it would be a regular LS engine. So at the end of the day, like I said, 500 horsepower from one, 500 horsepower from the other, it's all the same.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said earlier, you like the look of one engine as opposed to another, the tune port. It looks like I got the LS in mine, and I'm losing with I got like an LS6 or a mild cam from Comp, and then instead of that ugly plastic intake manifold, I've got a Holley single plane. So I'm losing 80 horsepower because of my single plane and 80 horsepower because of a mild cam, because I want the damn thing to look like a small block. I don't want it to look like an LS with the plastic stuff on that. I want it to look retro, and I'm losing horsepower because of it.
But you got to look at what you're doing. You're driving across country, so if you're losing that much power, it really doesn't matter. Because when you go to a car show, people know your car, and you lift up the hood, you want it to look beautiful. But the LS engine, the truck intake, is you can't beat that. A lot of people talk about that stock intake and everything like that, but that LS
performance, great performance, but it's hideous.
You can't beat it as far as torque. You cannot beat it. You can go. Like I said, if I was building a car, let's take it. My cars, I don't race them every weekend or anything. That I go to the track, have fun, but it's not like something where I got to chase every single horsepower. And so, will I give up a little bit of looks for horsepower? Fine, because like I said, it's not a race car. Now, if I build like let's say 93 Camaro, I don't care how ugly that thing looks. I don't care how just gonna be twin turbos sticking up out of the hood. That's what it's for. It's not for bringing to a car show. No.
All go, no show.
That's it. But I like the way you hooked your wagon up. I was talking to Tori DeBlasi, DiBiase.
Yeah, Tori.
DeBlasi, yeah, Tori. And he told me what you're doing and what you're planning on doing. Good move.
Thanks. Yeah, Lou's building up he and me rear ends, and now it's not a race car. I definitely want to take it on the Silver State Classic, but I'm not getting the mileage I want. They're saying, well, you got 373s, we're going to put 350s in it, so it'll be a better highway gear. So we'll see how that works out.
Well, are you going to change the cam or anything like that?
No, I'm leaving the cam alone. Torque converter alone. Nelson is probably going to yell at me for the change of the rear end gears, because Because of my boss hog torque converter, we'll have to go through the whole 30-page worksheet again.
Yeah, but he makes one hell of a torque converter. I mean, that torque converter will move your car. I mean, like, I've been driving my truck, like I'm working with Aeromotive now. That's why I haven't been really driving it, because they're great. They're awesome.
I got the Phantom 340 fuel pump in mine. Yeah.
Do you have the check valve?
No, mine's from I got a CPP 29-gallon fuel cell and Jackson at Aeromotive. I don't know how many years ago, not 10, but a while ago. I used that with the Holly Sniper before I went Terminator.
Right. So, but you have the Aeromotive Stealth, or what'd you say? The Phantom?
Stealth, yeah, in-tank 340 Phantom, yeah.
If you ever take that Phantom out, okay, do you ever have starvation issues?
Only when I'm really, really, really low on gas, like an idiot, it'll corner and it'll starve, but it'll start right back up.
So when you put the tank in, you had this big foam, and then you had a baffle in the bottom.
Yeah.
They make a part. And matter of fact, I got them, and I just finished shooting a video for it. I'm just finishing up the end. Where one, they make a check valve that you put in those baffles. So now the fuel will go in, but it won't come out. All right, and then they also make what's known as an apex siphon, which sits on the top of the hat, and from the vacuum that's created from the outgoing fuel, it causes a suction, and you got this hose that you put somewhere in the part of your tank where the gas collects, like if you're real low.
Okay.
And it will suck. It will suck the tank dry. So that's their answer to that. And I'm doing a video for them right now, as a matter of fact, to promote that.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. They always look out, and so they said, here it is, and it's really great. It's really great because I even tested out. I got my Trailblazer up on an angle like this because I used to get like what's it called, starvation, because I have a saddlebag gas tank. So the gas, when you're like less than a quarter tank, the gas will be in the front. The pump is back here. So if you're on an angle, you don't have any gas going through it. So now with this whole siphon thing, now I'm at like empty, almost empty. I've been testing it out. Basically, so I put the hose right where the gas would be, and it's sucking that gas right into that bucket. So now before, I said I would be like a little bit under a quarter, and if I'm on an angle like this, the car would cut off. Now I'm on an angle like this, and that gas, I mean, like it's reading E. It says you got 19 more miles to go. So it seems to be working very well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So watch for that video. That video is coming out soon.
Heck yeah, man.
On the Let's Roll podcast. We always have the exclusives, me and Jeff.
That's right. Yeah. Subscribe, Coverman66 on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're going to find you, YouTube. You probably have Instagram and all that stuff, right? Yeah.
Terry LSX, on Instagram. You go to YouTube, you'll see all the links for everything. You got Facebook. Like I gotta start a public page because like, you're only allowed 5,000 friends.
Oh man.
And I got
so
like
tough.
that.
What are you gonna do?
And then I got like maybe like 2,000 that are like waiting. I'm looking at it, I feel bad.
You're very popular.
I don't know. I just love
what makes Terry so great is he's such a friendly guy, and he takes his time and cares about people. You can just tell, and that's why people are drawn to Terry, I think, and that does help. And great guy.
So I appreciate that, man. And like I said, like Tori DeBlasi, he always says, he told me, hang out with people that bring out the best in you, not the stress in you. I think he might have got that from Dina Parisi, but wherever it came from, that's why I surround myself with people such as yourself, Mike and Jeff, and Louis Lee, Tori, all these people, Kevin Tetz. I mean, like they truly want to see the best for me, and I want to see the best for them. So I think it's like a whole family where we'll all, no matter where we are, we'll help each other, and that's the beauty of it. Our Edwards, everyone, it's fabulous. And Jeff, you said it one time before where SEMA, it's more than just a car show. That's why I put it, SEMA more than a car show. It's family reunion, man. People go there and they meet people. I mean, like it's a yearly thing. Just like I said to Ed Beards and you and Joe Mead. Yeah, every year at this time, because when we were in that 55 Bel Air, yeah, we wanted to go through. We didn't get a chance to go through. You saw the Rum Runner car, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
The 55 Bel Air. We were sitting in that car for about 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Waiting to go into Ignite it. And I even told Kevin Ossie, I was like, Kevin, I'm gonna get out that car. I'm gonna give you a big old hug in the video.
Yeah.
And, so I was waiting, and we were sitting there for 3 hours because they didn't really have it organized well, where you can move and everything. And we just all had a good time, even though we didn't get into that Ignited. Me, Mike, Mike Mealy, Joe Mealy, and Ed Beers. We formed a bond there, and every year, at least one night, we're gonna go out to dinner, just the four of us, just the four of us, because, like I said, that's what it's about, man. It's about the love of cars, and it's about the love of the people that love the cars, and that's what brings us all together. And that's why when I said when you had that podcast show, when you invited a whole bunch of people, Mike, that's why I said cars is what we really need at this point, man. I mean, I went to car shows, people, see me, talk to me and everything like that. I look in their car, they got Confederate flags and whatever and such. But, like on a day where maybe the car wasn't involved, maybe that person wouldn't like me, maybe I wouldn't like them. But when cars get involved, cars and music, when they get involved, all that stuff is out the window. And that's how it should be, man. I mean, I'm a person who judges people by their character, not by the color, or not by, I mean, if you're stupid, you're stupid, and you got to feel bad for them. But I mean, I try to judge people by just, meeting them and talking to them, and not like, okay, I can see I'm not gonna like this guy. No, you don't judge like that. You give them, if they give you a reason not to, okay. But that's just how I live my life, and that's how my parents raised me to be. And but like I said,
we're all car guys in the end. We're all car guys in the end. Our car gals. So.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So
yeah.
It brings people together. Cars bring people together.
Cars and music, yes. Feel that.
So.
All
right, man. Well, guess what? I got to go on the radio in about 5 minutes or so.
Thanks for coming on, Terry. Coverman66 on YouTube, Terry LSX on Instagram.
Yep. He's the man for LS, and watch some of his videos, and make sure you check out his engine giveaway that he's going to be having. So make sure.
I just subscribe to YouTube because I want to win the engine. So give me subscribe back.
Jeff, you might be voided. No, stop.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, man.
You were going to be like typical. Yeah, I knew it was fixed.
Thanks for coming on, Terry. We appreciate it. And, we'll see you next time, my friend.
Thank you.